Words about books, Ben.
It's words about books, Nate. Are you ready for some filler?
Wow, you make it sound like you put no effort into it.
I actually put a lot of effort into it. I just don't think anybody's going to care.
Well, they should. That's their loss.
So we're covering something weird for the podcast. I'm going to be covering. I don't even know how I'm going to title this. We're going to be covering Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, and his works that are not by him, Discourses, Fragments, and Handbook, or the much more metal Enchiridion. And this is part of my slow deep dive into Stoicism. I got really curious about it because of all the broicism that got popular online.
Yeah, that's what we are now. That's why this episode is brought to you by Alpha Chad.
That's why this episode's brought to you by Alpha Chad. You can take my 6-week course on how to be a man for the low price of $300. And that's the discounted beginner rate. Every class after that is triple the price. So look forward to that. But yeah, I noticed I don't know, I started getting recommended it. I guess the YouTube algorithm
hates you. Yeah.
I was gonna say realized I was like the right age for a midlife crisis. And I start getting all these videos of
you look like you might be a loser. Do you want to fix that? Here's
you look like you grew up without a father. Would you like a terrible male role model? No, I started seeing all these shorts of muscular men recording themselves. Either it's always with a cell phone,
or sometimes a not muscular guy who's like pretending he's like scrawny and also bald, but he wants you to believe he's just full of tea. It's a lot of them, actually.
They're
doughy.
I haven't gotten a doughy one. I've gotten some I got roided up people. The YouTube algorithm knows
that is better than a skinny dude or a doughy dude or a Romanian sex criminal.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Oh man, I still can't believe the first time I ever heard him speak was not that long ago, and I was just like,
I saw him fight.
This wait, like I heard him speak, and I was like, this is who young men think is masculine. Jesus Christ, Nate, we could actually make some money in this. I mean, at least I sound like I've gone through puberty. I couldn't believe that was what that man sounded like. But regardless, I started seeing a lot of this broicism stuff. And they're always recording on a cell phone. They're always either in a car or in a mansion that has no furniture that they clearly rent.
I rented this car. I mean, I bought this car. Yeah. You got to get your Lambo. That's what everyone wants, right? That's the car that you use to compensate for a tiny penis.
But they like Stoicism, and I think they like Stoicism mostly for the quotes, which are very like simple, and because it is kind of like simple concepts, difficult to master. But I think everybody goes to like Marcus Aurelius because like that's what I've read in the past. And Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, and he wrote a little journal that he absolutely did not want anyone to ever read. And when he died, they found it and immediately like, we got to publish this. It's so good. And it's honestly not that good. I'm just going to throw it out there. But like,
wow,
he wasn't. It's because it's very clearly like for an audience of Marcus Aurelius. Like he doesn't explain anything because he knows
Yeah.
Um,
And really, you should know too. Maybe that's why you're so scrawny and weak. You should go to a training camp and you should fight 500 people, but only after they've exhausted themselves with tons of push ups and jumping jacks so that you could get them in the ring and like half ass beat them. Like, kind of. And then you can claim you beat up 500 people in a day, you masculine, chiseled man.
except Marcus Aurelius was like the last good Roman emperor, and he actually was a manly guy, though as manly as a Roman could be by modern standards. And he has a lot of like highly quotable things because he's basically.
Yeah, I mean, if the Romans were that manly, would the barbarians have beaten them?
Well, that was my thing. Is like Roman culture is
A guy who looked like Ben came across a river with an axe, and and he and his friends just started fucking up the Roman Empire.
Yep, these are my people. Oh, but he's got so Aurelius has given himself pep talks basically. Like he's sitting down in his camp or whatever, literally writing in a notebook, often depressed, often like it has this tone of like, I hate being the emperor.
Yeah, a lot of Roman emperors kind of felt that
But
way.
he's like, if I don't do it, someone worse than me will. And so he's got a lot of quotable lines like, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. And he doesn't bother to define what a good man is because he knows, like, he knows what his ideals are. He doesn't need to explain them to himself. That's kind of the point of the quote. But you don't know what a good man is.
Yeah, so you got to buy my class.
So you got to buy my class. I'll tell you. And, he says, if it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. And it's like, yeah, why don't we all just do that? So
is that easy?
It's that
Ben?
easy. So I see these quotes on like Instagram all the time with like a bust of Marcus Aurelius and impact font or whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's just
perfect.
It's just like your daily stoicism. You have power over your mind.
Yeah.
The happiness of your life should depend upon the quality of your thoughts and how many mansions you can rent for a photo shoot.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta let them know that you're successful somehow.
But you know who Marcus Aurelius quotes a lot is this Epictetus guy.
Oh, I was hoping it was going to be Plato.
He quotes Plato. Everybody quotes Plato all the fucking. This guy Epictetus quotes Plato all the fucking time.
Or Cicero. Cicero would have been a good one.
I don't think he quotes Cicero.
Something about the death of the Republic and,
He doesn't give a shit about the Republic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's long gone and dead, so.
Well, and Epictetus would say it was always going to be. Like, we'll get into what he thinks about that stuff.
So we're fatalistic.
Kind of. It's. I'll tell you, I didn't go much. I read Marcus Aurelius a long time ago, and I didn't go much further with Stoicism because I was already into Buddhism, and they're similar in a lot of ways, different in several key ways. I think people make more of the similarities than there is, but I was like, yeah, now that I'm seeing all these young men get into it and probably get it wrong, maybe I'll dive in. Maybe I'll see what I can do with this.
Well, how many mansions did Titus have?
He lived very simply in like a shack.
Well, sounds like he sucked.
He was not.
I wouldn't buy a membership from him.
He was not. Well, he did have a school, so people did pay for his classes.
Damn.
So that has been a part of Stoicism for as long as there's been Stoicism. But he also taught them things like geometry. So it wasn't entirely a grift.
I'm going to actually teach you real life skills.
I'll teach you life skills. I'll also teach you. Well, and he also this is going to be one of the themes throughout his work, which isn't his work. I'll get to that in a second. But he's constantly berating the students for not being interested in the true meaning of philosophy.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Christmas for some reason.
No, he didn't know about Christmas. And in fact, he often...
No wonder he was stoic.
There's a couple of times... So he was born like 50 years after the death of... or after the birth of Christ. So like 30 years after the death of Christ. And he constantly confuses the Christians with the Jews.
Ouch. Wow.
He talks about like how they love, their martyrdom and stuff. And it's like, no, that's...
I mean, it did get the Romans to stop killing them with lions and shit, so...
At this point, I think they're still being killed with lions.
Well, get the martyrs.
Let's talk a little bit about who Epictetus was and how he got to be like the Stoic master. A little about the author. Who isn't the author? So
keep saying that.
It's kind of a Socrates Plato situation where it's like most of what we know about Socrates comes from Plato writing about stuff Socrates supposedly said, because Socrates famously hated writing. He thought it was going to rot everybody's minds.
Wait until he sees the Nintendo GameCube.
Dude, I wrote all over this book, but I often wrote like, oh, if you knew the internet was coming, you'd be a lot less hard on these kids. Cause he's talking about how it's like, you all just want to do fancy readings at dinner parties to show everybody how learned and eloquent you are. You're not getting to the meat of the text. You're not getting to the deep meanings. Nobody watches long form content anymore. You're just going to all these stupid speeches and debating at salons. And it's like, oh man, dude, you're going to miss those days. But so Epictetus was born a slave.
Oof.
But if you had to be a slave, you could do worse than Epictetus. He was a slave to, I forget the guy's name, but he was a secretary to Nero. So he was in a pretty ritzy situation. Yeah, this
might be why he doesn't care much for the Christians or the Jews.
He doesn't dislike them.
Okay.
He thinks they're weird.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, especially at that time, they wanted to die.
Yeah.
Like they were racing to be martyrs, and it kind of freaked the Romans out.
And it's going to pay off because once Rome falls, where's the central authority in Europe? Church.
They made one guy very happy. And it wasn't Jesus. So his master, there's not a lot of details about this, but I guess he allowed him to study philosophy. So Epictetus studies Stoic philosophy from a young age. He eventually gets freed somehow. That didn't make it into the annals of history, I think. But then there's a Roman emperor that bans all philosophers, which...
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like something a Roman emperor would do. They're fucking crazy.
I was going to say, too, like, having read philosophy, it's surprising that doesn't happen more often. They're a little obnoxious. But he gets kicked out of Rome, and so he goes to Greece, sets up his school there, and he starts taking students. And his students are mostly wealthy young men. They're living away from home.
Some modern parallels.
Yeah, they're living in. I don't think it's like a dorm situation, but they're probably renting rooms or something. So there's a little bit of a party atmosphere at the school, which Epictetus hates, and he seems to hate he seems like a very like curmudgeonly old man. At some point,
how old was he?
It's unclear. He refers to himself as old. Nobody knows exactly when he was born. So he just refers to himself as old. He is lame, like crippled in the leg. So that's not helping him. But he's not mad about that. But he has this...
Not outwardly.
Well, not inwardly either. That's a big point of Stoicism we're going to get to. He doesn't... He's got a very kids these days take on philosophy. He's really just always upset by the fact that these kids, they're not studying philosophy for the right reasons. They're studying philosophy to become better at speaking, to become better politicians, because
to get laid, to get paid, Gatorade.
Kind of
sounds like a good thing to me.
But what they really need to be trying to achieve is to bring their reason into accord with nature, such that they do not ever fail to get what they desire, nor fall into anything they wish to avoid. True freedom is the purpose of studying philosophy.
My freedom.
And that's what, well, it is his freedom, but you're going to find out that his freedom is like, it's not the freedom that the freedom people mean. It's a different kind of freedom. A more realistic kind of freedom, I will say. So his books, they're not written by him. They're written by his student, similar to Plato writing down Socrates stuff. And his student is Arrian. Arrian prepared the discourses and the handbook, the Enchiridion. Now,
that sounds like a really fancy name.
Yeah. It's called handbook in my book, but if they'd called it Enchiridion, I would have read it sooner, because it sounds like a grimoire. It's not. It's a list of practical life advice for how to be a Stoic.
All right.
Though having read actual grimoires, this was less boring. Discourses. So the handbook is kind of written by Arrian. It's from Epictetus. He is trying to distill Epictetus's teachings down into a concise, practical manual for practicing Stoicism. The discourses, I don't think he intended to release to the public. I think he sent these as like a letter to somebody, and I think they published it. I don't know how he felt about that, but the discourses are his notes. So basically, anytime Epictetus would just go off on one of his rants, Arrian would take detailed notes and try to transcribe the rant as close to word for word as possible. It filled 8 books.
Oh my God.
Of which 4 survive. And we have fragments of the others, and that's what the fragments are. Yeah, basically, it's the same lessons. Discourses are like the long version. Enchiridion is the short version. The discourses have a lot of metaphysics, a lot of explanation and argument and rationale, and a lot of ranting, a lot of just old man going off on the youth. There's one whole chapter.
Old man yells at cloud. Is that?
No, there's one whole chapter where a guy walked in with his hair perfectly done and his chest waxed, and he was all
scandal.
Yeah, well, he was all made up, and Epictetus is like, I don't want to say what I think you look like because I don't want to offend you, but
I feel like I'm kind of offended.
Sit down because we're going to be here for a minute, and I am eventually going to say what I think you look like. First, I'm going to detail all the things I think are wrong with you that I'm going to say. So he just goes off on like why these hairless men of Athens are just going down the wrong path, trying to seduce licentious women. It's like a true man.
Seduce what?
Yeah, no, it's so basically this guy has his chest waxed, and he says to Epictetus, he's like, "Well, look, it's what the girls like." Because Epictetus is basically like, you look like a sissy boy, and the guy's like, "Hey, no, this is for the ladies. This is what they like." And Epictetus is like, "Who genuinely cares what a woman wants?"
Well, I mean, it is the times, I suppose.
Yeah. He's like, if the woman is not lewd, I guess she's not going to care if you're hairy or not. She might prefer you hairy. And yeah, he basically just goes off about how like trying to appeal to women is bad philosophy. And philosophers have followed that ever since. So yeah, the discourses, you get a lot of that. They're actually kind of funny, really repetitive. A lot of I'm sure a lot of great history has been lost in the fact that we're missing 4 books. But if you've read one book, you've kind of read all 4. They do get into like little details here and there, but like I believe that Arian, when he says that he's writing down just like the rants and tangents Epictetus used to go off on, because he constantly revisits the same points as if he's trying to hammer home a lesson that these young men are not learning, that they're ignoring him, and they are.
What? Why would they want to ignore this great man?
He's going to teach you the key to freedom.
My freedom.
You're just... he begins to suspect that some of them don't actually want to be free.
Yeah.
And I think as he details what freedom looks like, they agree that they're okay not being free. I'll tell you what it doesn't look like is a rented mansion, or a fancy car, or indeed a cell phone with which to record oneself.
Well, that's where you're wrong. They're the freest men ever. And they don't wax their chest because they can't grow hair on it. Boosh.
The idea, the core ideas in Stoicism are basically, there's things that are within our power to control. There's things that aren't within our power to control. And then there's sort of everything else. So there's like the good, what we can control. The bad, what we can't control isn't necessarily bad, but the desiring to control what you can't control is bad. And then there's things that are neither good nor bad. Like if you have them, that's nice. If you don't, not required.
Wax chest is in the bad category.
Yeah, well, wax chest is fine. Desire to attract women is not fine, because you can't control if a woman is attracted to you or not. That is up to her. So you're putting yourself, if your happiness is contingent upon women finding you attractive, you are enslaving yourself to those women. You will do whatever they ask, including wax your chest like some kind of clown man.
Damn.
That's where he's going with this.
Damn.
For example, if your happiness is contingent upon a bunch of 20-something losers finding you to be a sage masculinity coach, you're ultimately enslaving yourself to those people who pay for your courses, because it's important to you that you're famous and rich. And you can't control if you're famous or rich. Wealth comes and goes. It's an alignment of circumstances.
Well, what if I actually say, well, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm just going to blow that money on a Lambo. A real one. Like, I'm actually going to buy it. I don't know why. Like, what? Why? You're going to take that out in public? I don't want anyone near my shit.
The Lambo?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a Lambo these days. It's probably like I said, as we've established on this podcast,
It's now
I drive a
it's now
14-year-old Subaru Legacy, so
it's now a car that has really great gas mileage and you get at least 300,000 miles before it needs repairs. Yeah, that's the car
that's
now.
the car. Practical, reliable, a philosopher's car.
A philosopher's car.
So, in order to understand what we can control, what we can't control, we need to understand the world. This is where philosophy comes in. I'm going to teach you
Okay.
geometry, astronomy. I'm going to teach you logic. Logic is the most important skill of all because this is how we're going to realize what is good and bad and make use of our impressions and our reason to ensure that we're making good choices that lead to freedom. And as we develop our judgment, we're going to realize that it's best to live in accordance with nature. Epictetus is going to refer to God a lot, by which he means Zeus.
Would he say? What do you think about data centers?
I have an idea. He would say that falls into the realm of things he can't control.
Okay.
The realm of things you can control is
data centers good.
No, they're neither good nor bad.
Oh, okay.
Your desire to avoid a data center in your area, that's bad because you can't control that.
What if I can control that?
It is fine to oppose the data center.
But what about the data center in general? Like, that's living in accordance to nature. We're using that water to cool it down. We're killing all the wildlife nearby. We're dumping heat. Like, that's just controlling nature, right? And controlling nature, that's freedom.
I think what he would say...
Wait, is controlling nature freedom? It sounds like you said living with
I said living
nature.
in accordance with nature is freedom.
Okay.
So
if your chest is naturally waxed,
that's fine.
That's fine. In fact, waxing your chest just because you like to wax your chest, that's okay. It's when you start attributing things you can't control to it, like women finding you attractive.
So I think what he would say is that life is made up, and this is similar in Buddhism as well. Life is perceived through your senses.
Yeah, I read The Man in the High Castle.
So your perception of reality is your reality. And when you perceive things with your senses, you form an impression. And what he advises is that we develop our reason and our logic such that we don't get swept away with every impression. So when you see the data center, when you see the land being acquired for the data center, it is important that you not perceive that and then react with rage. Because then you're making your happiness, your mental state, dependent on whether there is or is not a data center, which is not something you can control with a thought. You can take actions to oppose the construction of a data center. And if that is what you logically decide to do, that is fine. But you should not become attached to the outcome.
Okay.
Because you can't control the outcome at the end of the day. Going along with this, you shouldn't really become attached to being alive.
I was about to say, so as we're dying of dehydration.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
This is partly where his...
You know, someone really should have introduced him to the concept of Jesus.
Well, no. So Christians actually like...
yeah, I can see why.
So he talks about God a lot. He talks about Zeus, which is what he means. And in this, like I've said, I don't know a lot about like the cult of Zeus or the mysteries or anything, but he views Zeus as the creator of human beings. And he has gifted human beings total control over their reason. So the only thing you truly can control is your own thoughts.
Okay.
You,
I would probably disagree, but okay. We'll
as
run with
somebody who
that.
takes SSRIs, I think I would disagree to an extent here.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, just think yourself out of that panic attack. What are you doing?
There's there's a logic to it. Um, I think he admits during some of the discourses that even he has not achieved perfection, but it is a practice, and
That's
the more
fair.
you practice, the better you'll get. And I think there's some logic to that. So what he's saying is Zeus, God, gave man total control of our reason. Even God can't tell us what to think. We still get to make our own choice about what we believe. And because of that, because we have total control over our reason, we should strive to not get swept away with impressions. So, in the data center example, you can oppose the data center, you can take actions to prevent its construction, and you can make well reasoned arguments for why it's not good to construct. But at the end of the day, the only thing you control is your opinion about the data center. If you absolutely must destroy the data center, like if its existence tortures you, that's a loss of freedom. Now the data center has control over you.
Do you then get your freedom back by destroying the data center?
No, it's
No.
causing you to do something. You're not doing that.
So even if something brings you like joy, that has
Yes,
power over you.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. So buying that Lamborghini, that has power over you.
Yes, it's fine to have wealth. It is neither. No, there's a difference between the Stoics and other philosophers on this point, but this comes up a lot in like ethics. The Stoics don't say that you shouldn't have wealth. They don't say like you have to give all your possessions to the poor, but they
Great.
do say don't get attached to them. And this is where he references God in a way that I think Christians really respond to is everything other than your everything including your reason, but everything outside of your reason, if you have good things, if you have wealth or family or any of that, that's cool. It's not yours. It's it's all from God, and there will come a day probably when God wants it back. And the correct thing to do is
Fight
to
God.
let it go, to appreciate the time you had with it and say goodbye. This includes
It's been a good run.
no, literally this includes your body. This includes your children. This includes anything you could value that we normally consider to be like top priorities. If it exists outside your ability, like you do not control whether your children live or die. But obviously take as good care of them as you can. But especially back then, people die. People die all the time. And if you're going to be destroyed by something like that, something that you can't control, then you're enslaved to it. You're not free.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. Uh,
Worth mentioning he was childless.
okay. Yeah, that checks out.
He apparently late in life did adopt a child. He adopted a child of a friend who had died. Apparently, this child was going to not make it if somebody didn't step up, and so he stepped up to take care of it.
And he was like, "I am okay if you live or die."
Yeah, that's his lesson. And that's kind of that goes into Buddhist philosophy too. But I think that's what attracts the Broicists to this philosophy, is that like nothing can hurt me. I am an island. I am. But what I think what Epictetus would say, if you're doing it out of fear, it doesn't count. Like if you have to be honest with yourself. Are you attached to these things? And if you are, you are. There's no magic like you just say like, oh, I see the impression. My child is sick. I'm very attached to them. And I'm just going to decide right here and right now, I'll give you back to God if he wants you back. I think Epictetus would acknowledge that's, not everybody's there.
Oh, that's good, because I think most people...
Yeah, no, I think he would argue most people aren't there. But he would say that they should be... This is where the belief in God comes in, I think. He should trust that there is an order to nature. Things were not created just to suffer. That there's some method to all this madness.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
That sounds great to have that.
I think that's a key ingredient. I really do. It's something that always trips people up with like Buddhist philosophy too, because Buddhists go even further. Epictetus says you are your reason, you are your logic, that is what you own. The Buddhists would say you don't exist, there is no you. There's nothing to attach to because there's nothing.
Okay.
You don't suffer because there is no you. There is no central core of being that makes up you. There is no soul. There is no nothing. What gets reincarnated then? Murky. Talk to you about a candle, lighting a candle, but like what if both candles are lit at the same time? Murky. But there's a lot of I would say secular Buddhists who don't necessarily believe in any of the supernatural aspects of Buddhism, but like the philosophy. And I think there's a similar thing with Stoicism. But the supernatural aspects, in my opinion, would make the practice much easier. Like, for example, if you believe God created everything and that God is good and he doesn't create, childhood cancer because it's funny, that would probably help in trusting that, like, and giving these things back
just a little bit.
Yeah. The examples are easier when he's talking about things like station, wealth, career. He gives a lot of advice on those, basically, where he's seeing people are not happy chasing after the things that they think are going to make them happy. And that's where the advice really shines, I think, which is interestingly the opposite of the way I've seen a lot of the Broicism stuff portraying it, is that, like, you should be an untouchable island so that you can
I'm a rock, I'm an island. We've all heard the Simon and Garfunkel song, right?
But they want it so that they can make money, so that they can be free from suffering while they make money. But Epictetus is telling you, you're still not going to be happy because you're going to get the money and it's not yours. You'll spend it, you'll lose it, you'll miss it when it's gone. Like,
yeah, but then I just go ahead and become one of the trainers. The student has become the master. Now I teach people.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to publish a bunch of your rants, and I'll get rich.
Yeah, that's how that works.
No, basically he's arguing, like, the simpler you can live, the better off you're going to be. The more of these things you can scratch off, like the fewer things you need to be happy, the better off you're going to be. Because ultimately the only thing you can count on is your own logic, your own reason.
Death and taxes, baby.
Well, that's the thing he says. He's like, don't fear death. It's inevitable. He's like, it's not death that's bothering you. It's the fear of death. You're torturing yourself. You've taken an impression, people die, and you've started building up all these complexes and walls and stuff, and you're torturing yourself.
It's not my fault. Okay, Morgoth was saying all kinds of shit.
I thought about
got us all spooked.
I thought about that. You know, another interesting thing he says, going along with the brosism, is don't. He tells people basically, give up. Say you really enjoy wine, stop drinking wine.
What?
Yeah, just stop.
Even in the Roman times, thought that was like most of what they drank because the water supplies sucked.
Drink water.
I don't want it. No,
drink tea.
I'm good. Did they have tea?
They had herbal tea. They didn't have the tea plant, but they had leaves they could boil. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
So he'll say something like,
"Great,
like don't drink wine then. You know, take a break on that, or take a break on partying. Say, don't go to parties this week or whatever." And equally important, don't be an annoying straight edge kid. He's like, do it because you're trying to train your reason. Don't do it to show off that you can do it.
No one likes that guy.
Yeah, no, he's saying, he's like, when you start down this path, don't tell anyone you're doing it.
Don't pretend like you are a homeless person living inside of the music library for a week because you're trying to achieve enlightenment, even though you're live blogging everything on a Facebook.
Well, yeah, basically he says, because then you're just replacing one with another.
And you're just trying to get attention, and maybe you could do with a little less attention, you know?
Well, your attention is another dependency.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but I'm looking. Let me see. Oh, I have a comment here that says "Yikes."
That's always good.
Very well. Come along when everyone has sat down, and if you have a mind to, chase someone out of his seat. In the same way, women, too, are common property by nature. But when the lawgiver, like the feast of a host, has apportioned them, aren't you willing then, like everyone else, to seek out your own portion rather than grab someone else's in addition to satisfy your greed? And that is him trying to explain why you shouldn't go after your neighbor's wife.
Okay.
Very long way to say that.
That is not where I thought that was going.
No. He doesn't like women.
What?
Yeah.
You're joking. This guy?
I think this guy might be like truly, as the kids say, Aero Ace. I don't think he has a lot.
Do the kids say that?
Yeah, they do. It's Pride Month.
What the fuck? Oh my god! I did not realize there was more terminology. See, I don't talk with.
You don't talk with
the kids
youth
these days.
It's aromantic, asexual. They're two different things.
Okay.
Some people are asexual.
I knew ace. I did not realize that aro was.
Some people are. I guess. Can you be aromantic and straight? Can you just be a jerk?
Yeah, you can. You can then sell that as part of your class.
Can I march in the pride thing if I forget our anniversary? Might have to cut that.
Turns out I'm just an asshole. Sorry.
I mean, I guess there's a nice way to do it, as you could say, like I'm just not interested in a relationship.
But I am interested in pounding. Am I right?
Probably some people are. I mean, it seems like a.
Can you walk in the Pride Parade for that though?
Look, if it's important to you that you walk in the pride parade, you need to let that go because you can't control whether or not other people think you should walk in the pride parade. We need to use our reason. We need to train our logic and our reason. Okay, so Shai says we can walk in the pride parade if we hold hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. I think podcast co-hosts should get a flag. It's a kind of relationship.
That's true.
But yeah, so basically his freedom, and this is the freedom that the Christian...
Every time you say that, I can't help but think my freedom. Every time.
So his freedom is the freedom to, in a word, not wish for anything other than what God wishes.
I don't know. Okay, so I don't know what God wishes because
whatever happens, it's
the
what God wishes.
of guest right did just
he references
get those people killed for upholding the guest right.
He references the Odyssey a lot.
Oh boy.
You know, it's somebody there's even one point where somebody points out some inconsistency in Odysseus's character. And I wish I have it highlighted, I'm sure, but I don't remember which chapter it was in. And he responds like, basically, there's parts of Homer I like and parts of Homer I don't like. And he's saying that, like, Odysseus is one of the great heroes. So if you're noticing a flaw in Odysseus's character, it's because Homer changed it to make it more exciting. I think it's when he's saying, like, did Odysseus ever give up? Did Odysseus ever despair? And they're like, all the time. Constantly. Over and over.
On that island for a really long time.
He said he wept every night out of loneliness.
That is kind of what he told his wife.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about that one.
I think that's the point they bring up is he says something like, did Odysseus ever give in? And they're like, yes. Many, many times he fell to his knees and wept openly in pure frustration. And he's like, okay, that was just Homer, though. Did he get home? Yeah. That's my point. Did Odysseus get home? And they're like, yeah, with the help of, like, half the gods. And
we had to do it while Poseidon wasn't looking.
Yeah, and a bunch of people he screwed over along the way. It only cost him, like, 3 ships worth of people.
3 ships? There's 12.
There's 12 ships.
He got 12 ships full of people slaughtered.
12 ships full of people killed. He ended whole island civilizations because they helped him. And he had half the gods. So if basically want what God wants. If God wants you to get home, you're going to get home. Wants. Okay? Maybe not when you think you should get home. But you know,
you're not selling me anymore.
They're working on it. Look, it's not. You got to use it's your rationality. Okay, you use your rationality. That's the only thing that's really yours. As long as you're sitting there, and you know the one thing I was thinking about the whole time he's talking about this is like the only thing that's truly yours is your logic and your reason. That's the only thing nobody can ever take away from you. And I'm like,
facts and logic.
I'm like, this is only because people didn't live long enough to have dementia back then.
That is,
because you can totally lose that. It could totally
that
be taken
is that is that is a good point,
because that's the Buddhist argument, is that like there's all these things where it's like different parts of your mind can go, you're still here. Was that you?
Well, I mean, didn't they have lead in their water? I don't know if that's an urban legend or not.
Well, their pipes were made out of lead.
Yeah. So, I don't know how much lead, but you know, they say that there is no safe amount.
Less is better.
Preferably less, yeah. I would agree.
This this time I'm flipping through the book to see if there's anything I want to talk about. And I'm like, I'm reading my notes, and this note says, "You pissed off the only straight Greek."
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh, I think this is where he's yelling at that kid.
Yeah. The,
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll read some of this.
Who cares what women
No, I'll
want?
read some of this to you. This is the translation. Some guy at Oxford had to write this. Yes, but they like smooth-bodied men. Go hang yourself.
Oh my god! Jesus! Oh god!
But if they liked inverts, by which I think he means bottoms, I suppose you'd become one of those. Is this your business in life then? Is this what you were brought into this world for? To make yourself appealing to licentious women? Shall we make a man like you a citizen of Corinth, and quite possibly a city warden or a superintendent of the cadets or a general or president of the games? Come, even when you're married, will you continue to pluck out your hairs? For whom and to what end? And when you've fathered boys, will you introduce them into the community with their hair plucked out in turn? Oh, what a fine citizen, what a fine senator, what a fine orator. Is it the youths of that kind that we should have born and reared among us? By the gods, young man, may that not be your fate. And that's when I wrote you.
Okay, why are you looking at my hair so closely? What's your problem?
Oh, that really did get to him. He does not like a hairless man. Epictetus likes bears. I think that's what he's talking about here. I think he says, like, he goes on. This goes on for another page. Him just berating this kid. And then he goes on to say, let a man be a man, a woman be a woman. Trans people would blow his mind. He's not ready for that. Oh, Shy. So this is the other thing. Shy actually raises a good point. Shy said, why is he getting so mad about this kid's chest hair? He can't control it. And that's a good point, because the other thing Epictetus likes to do is argue with himself and imagine other people's responses. Sometimes he'll be like, "Oh, so I know what you're going to say now. Why are you getting so mad if I can't control his chest hairs?" Well, let me tell you why I'm getting so mad. And it's like, nobody's talking to you, Epictetus. We all just want this to stop. We're all just trying to wait for this to be over. Nobody's asking questions. Nobody's adding anything to this. Arian just won't stop writing it down. And then afterwards we go to the bar and we read it out to everybody, and then they laugh. And yeah. So this guy's eventually, he says something like it's hygienic. He's like, what? Should I just be filthy? Should I just not take care of my appearance at all?
It sounds really Christian of
you. And he says, he's like, no, of course not. But my God, what's next? Do we pluck out a lion's mane?
Yes.
This rant is, oh my God.
This goes on for a while.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages, and it is tiny font.
Oh my God.
I recommend the discourses. They're genuinely funny, and I don't know if they're supposed to be, but I have a feeling, and I don't know if this is argued about or I'm probably not the first person to think of this. The handbook really feels like Arian went ahead and made a lot of this a bit more palatable. I think I read that other people had a different impression, that he was actually trying to make it like more forceful or something. But the discourses are genuinely kind of funny. And then I think at the end, let me see. No, this is a different guy he's yelling at. What does he say to this guy?
You couldn't remember all the guys that were getting yelled
My
at.
note is people keep paying this dude to get reamed by him.
Yeah, that sounds like very similar to modern day.
Yeah. No, I think this is just a guy. This is just a guy who I don't even think he did anything.
Sounds like most of these people probably didn't do anything, but here we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think this guy just showed up and like, I think he gave us.
He just showed up and he started getting his ass kicked.
I think he gave a speech and he was nervous. Oh yeah, no, this is okay. Yeah, this one's for shy. So this guy gave a speech or something. He was nervous, but then he did good, and he was like really happy that everybody was telling him how good he did. And Epictetus is like, "Oh, look who's so happy that they did good." Blah 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 blah. You shouldn't care what other people think. You shouldn't blah blah blah. And then somebody eventually brings up like, "Why are you getting so mad? You know, isn't this beyond our control?" And he's like, "Don't you fucking quote me to me. Don't you quote me to me. I'll tell you about that." Yeah, it goes off. But there is practical stuff. Like I think if I were going to recommend like a casual person interested in Stoicism, I think I'd probably recommend Handbook. Very short. Relative like in 5 pages of the handbook, you're almost done with the handbook.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not long. And it condenses pretty much everything of value, I would say. It also gives specific instructions for like how you can practice some of this. Discourses is way funnier, but it's really long and kind of repetitive. The one thing I will say, sort of by way of like concluding this, the handbook is probably free. I'm sure you could get an old translation of it somewhere and just read it in a PDF in like an hour. And it would probably be way more valuable to you than anything anyone is selling on YouTube or TikTok.
How dare you?
And so I would recommend that. Now, Epictetus is not like the end all be all of Stoicism. I'm gonna read other Stoic stuff, but this whole idea of like don't don't run away with your impressions, actually think about how things are making you feel, kind of be mindful of what you're doing while you do it. Don't form unnecessary attachments. Like I think obviously people are going to be attached to their children and stuff. That seems like a heavy lift for a philosophy, but the wealth and stuff, I think there's an easier case for. Basically, the fewer things you need to be happy, the better. I think if more people, if their only attachment was their children and their families, we'd be better off. And so it's so weird that some dude in like a mansion in a fancy car is preaching Stoicism. I almost feel like because Marcus Aurelius looks up to this guy. Marcus Aurelius is like Epictetus had it all figured out.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Marcus Aurelius has everything. One of the most powerful men to have ever lived. And he's just struggling to keep it together in half of these entries. But all these people I see on social media touting Marcus Aurelius, they're almost saying like, this is the wisdom that made him emperor.
Nah, I think that was probably the Praetorian Guard.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is like, this is the wisdom that made him not want to be emperor, which is why he was a good emperor, probably because he hated it. I don't know. I guess I've seen that is because nobody's quoting. I haven't seen all. I always see meditations. All the quotes are from meditations. I never see anything from like Epictetus or Seneca or any of the other. Sometimes I see Seneca, but like I never see it from anyone else because these guys, their lives sucked. You can't sell somebody Epictetus.
Yeah, none of those guys had Lambos.
He lived in a shack. He had a lamp, I think, and someone stole it.
Gee, what the
And
fuck?
he was like, I'm not, easy come, easy go. Sometimes God wanted me to have a lamp. Now he doesn't want me to have a lamp. I gave it back. And they're like, but somebody stole it, Epictetus. God didn't take it. He's like, hey, who am I to judge God's messenger? It's time for me to not have the lamp anymore. God took it back. He sent me a thief to take that lamp I didn't need. Though if we were going to pass around the collection plate today, I could use a new lamp. I haven't graded any of your papers because I couldn't see. So, yeah, like everybody wants to be Marcus Aurelius. Everybody wants to be the king. Nobody wants to be the former slave who's got a bum leg and is just angry all the time. I did find it interesting. As much as I'm making fun of it, I think there's some good stuff here, but I think there's stuff that people would rightly poke holes in. There's definitely stuff I'd poke holes in. I think Epictetus is, for somebody who's dead set on questioning all of his impressions and preconceptions, there's a few that slide by him. Really preoccupied with that guy's chest hair, I will admit. Probably not something he should have cared so much about, but he viewed that. He does talk about why he cared so much because people do question him about it. And he cared.
He keeps bringing it up.
He cared so much.
He's at the bar later on. He's like, "Can you believe that guy's fucking chest?"
That guy walks into the bar.
That was like 5 months ago.
No, that guy walks into the bar with his chest shaved, and he's like, "Look, I don't want to offend you. That's the last thing I want. I don't want you to think that I think less of you just because you are trying to become a woman. I just want, like, I wouldn't be doing my job as a teacher if I let you go around looking like that. One day, you're going to thank me because you're going to realize what an idiot you look like. And you're going to be like, thank God Epictetus stopped me from making a fool of myself. Because that's what you look like. A fool. A shorn, smooth fool. And guy's like, yeah, I'm going to be late on tuition this month. Good luck with your fucking lamp.
Yeah, fuck you, man.
But no, it's good. It's a fun time. But don't trust the bros. Don't read philosophy one quote at a time. Read the whole book. It can be fun.
Can be.
It can be.
Will it? You never know.
I don't
But
think.
if you go onto our page,
Yeah,
and you drop us, let's say $100 a month,
oh,
we'll give you some of our teachings.
I'll filter this down for you. Yeah, I guess my advice for anybody. I said this already, but yeah, handbook. Handbook's the one you want to read. Read the handbook. Don't read a bunch of quotes from Marcus Aurelius pulled out of context. Go read Epictetus' handbook, and then I'll get back to you. I'm going to read the letters of Seneca next. If anybody cares, I'll do this again. If anybody really wants to know about Stoicism. They're a fun group of guys.
Yeah.
These Stoics.
Right.
Look, if you thought if you thought the hippies were free, living in their communes, having a lot of sex, you haven't been to a Stoic party. If you thought the hippies...
I never thought, we need more hippies.
The hippies had it all figured out. You know, they're like, oh, we're going to have a bunch of communist farms. Everybody's going to have sex with each other.
How'd that work out for them?
Going to do a bunch of LSD. Well, they became boomers, and now they own everything. So pretty well. Worked out for them pretty well.
The hippies were the ones who own everything.
Charles Manson killed some people, and then they all had to quit and get jobs. I'm also lecturing about history. So No, Stoics are a fun group of guys. They get together and they're just free.
My freedom.
Free to be hairy.
My freedom.
Oh, lordy lord. So, yeah, that was everything you need to know about Stoicism. Or at least Epictetus. I guess all that's left to do now is thank the people who make it all possible with their generous donation to my book buying fund. And they are Jamie, the Gravy Man. The If You Want the Gravy blog. Are there movies about Epictetus? There should be. They would be funny. He even has an arc. It's built in. He hates everybody, but then he eventually has to adopt a kid and he learns to love, presumably. I guess he didn't get too attached, but you know.
Presumably.
I don't think he got too attached, but you know, like he liked it. He fed it. Had a woman that nobody knows if he is actually in a relationship with, but I don't know. He acquired a woman that lived with him to help him raise the kid. So
acquired a woman. Oh my God.
Anyway, that's Jamie's shout out. And then we have John Bierce. John Bierce is an actual author. He writes The Mage Errant, The Rack, More Gods Than Stars, serializing on his Patreon right now if you want to get early access to the second book. And of course, The Mage Errant hardcover is coming to a Barnes & Noble near you. Pre-order it unless it's out, in which case buy it. Isekai Sensei Sama of the That Time I Got Reincarnated as an Anime Podcaster podcast is our sovereign reason an isekai. By perceiving the world, do we create the world? And if we perceive it differently, would we create another world, thereby isekaiing ourselves? Think about that.
Well, you're not supposed to, if you want that, then you've already failed. If your happiness is predicated on that.
If your happiness is... He would have hated isekai, Epictetus. He would have hated everything about that. Everything about that. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I only regret that I'll never hear his rant about isekai. But I also want to thank Spooky Shy with Y over on TikTok, featured questioning much of the great philosophy in this episode. Even though, wasn't invited.
Yeah.
But
Jacob Lansky.
Freer than all of us.
Yeah. Because he does whatever the fuck he wants.
In accordance with nature. Jacob Lansky's...
I don't think Jacob Lansky even cares.
Jacob Lansky's interests are so perfectly aligned with the natural order of things that he cannot...
I see what
he cannot help but do whatever the fuck he wants, because whatever the fuck he wants is whatever the fuck God wants.
All right.
And I can't help but notice, God wants him to be a $10 patron. Maybe God wants you to be a $10 patron.
Yeah.
You ever think about that?
And again, if you pay us $100, we'll give you our classes, our life lessons on.
If somebody gives us $100, I will literally put together a PowerPoint and teach a class. I don't know on what, but I'll teach you. I'll be your dad. Whatever. I'll teach you how to be a man.
Yeah, we can do that. That sounds easy enough.
Look, if these guys can do it, we can do it. Yeah. If Andrew Tate can tell people how to be masculine, I can tell people how to be masculine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, I'm going to tell you the things you really need to know to be a man. Look, this is how you get a car loan. This is how you set up a 401k. Okay. This is how you fix a sink. These are the skills. Shy doesn't think I can fix a sink, but I can fix a sink.